I've been searching for you. Can you hear my voice calling from the streets? Deep calls unto deep. The purpose of your heart is deep waters, but a wise woman of understanding will draw it out of you. Come, drink from the fountain of wisdom, for my treasures are more valuable than rubies or gold. For I give long life, honor, and you receive favor from the Most High God. I've been waiting for you. I'm Judah Jackson, the host and content creator for Wise Woman on Wisdom. I'm so excited about this new series. We're going over information that will prepare us to meet our soulmates. As I'm preparing, I'm sharing information that I'm gleaning about soulmates and marriage and what God has in store, because I shared a prophecy earlier this year that one of the ways, the strategies that God is going to use to strengthen his body, family, community, and society is marriage. God is making matches in heaven. He's bringing people together for holy matrimony. So I'm sharing information from this book that I have read, Finding the Love of Your Life, 10 Principles for Choosing the Right Marriage Partner by Neil Clark Warren. He is the founder of eHarmony. He is a professional psychologist. He's been married to the same woman for over 65 years. He has 3 children. He has been counseling couples for over 35 years. His specialty is compatibility. And so he has a master's in divinity, an MDiv from Princeton Theological. So he's a well-qualified man with a wealth of wisdom. So last week we talked about the first principle, which is to avoid the 7 common or prevalent behaviors that lead to faulty mate selection. There's some very common ones. Quickly I'll review last week what we said. One is getting married too soon. You do not allow yourself time. You don't allow yourself time to learn about the incompatibilities. And you might be planning it too soon. Maybe it's the right person, but the timing is off. Maybe somebody has to work a little more, their career, they need to dedicate more time to it. But anyway, marrying too soon. And the next one is related, but it's different. Marrying too young. And that's because if you marry around 18 or 19, quite often you're not developed. Your life, your goals, your career is not developed. And you can be perfect at that moment, but as you develop and mature, you can grow apart. And 3 is being too eager to marry. Usually there's some kind of pressuring you. Sometimes women are from a very dysfunctional home, and to get out of their home they marry. Or men want to have a trustworthy sexual partner, and that might be pressuring them to marry out of too fast. And 4 is choosing a mate for somebody else. Your parents want you to marry that person. You're trying to marry this person for popularity or prestige. Sometimes celebrities get into that pressure, who their fans want them to marry. And 5th is the experience base is too narrow. You haven't learned that person in various situations under stress, around their family, around their friends. They might be different around them. You might only know them in a single, like maybe you meet them at church and you see them there, you see them at school, and that's it. But you need a broader experience base with them. And 6 is unrealistic expectations. You might think that marriage is going to be easy, but when I read, everybody is saying that it's challenging. You have to really work at it. Or you might think you can change a person if you get married. So that's another one. And the last one is unaddressed, significant behavioral or personality or behavioral problems that you haven't dealt with. Like it might be a temper, or it might be lack of trust, or it could be just any of these significant problems that you've never worked on. So now most of the information that I'm giving is coming right from the book. But every now and then I'll put my little caveat or my little 2 cent in. And this is where I'm putting in my 2 cent when we think about compatibility. I'm looking at 2 Corinthians 6:14, where it's talking about spiritually in this instance, but this is going to give you a better understanding and appreciation of compatibility. It talks about do not be unequally yoked with non-believers. And we're going to look at that word unequally yoked. And I'm going to have a picture as I'm talking. You're going to see this picture appear of 2 animals yoked together, oxen. And that word in the Hebrew is heterozygio. Heterozygio. Maybe pronouncing it a little rusty, but it's talking about to be unequal or of a different yoke. And also that can mean the quality, the nature, the form, the class, or the kind is different. That's a compound word. It takes the phrase unequally yoked to put it together to get the information. It is compounded of 2 words, and the other word is zygios, and that is to join or put together. So being put together with different kinds is what it's saying. And it's usually referring to drought cattle, which is cattle that work. Either they tread out grain or they might pull a plow, but it's, like a drought horses, ox, but it's usually an animal that is working on a task. And also it can mean the beam between a balance. But either way, you're seeing the importance of being equally yoked. Now, as you look at this picture, you can see the big yoke holding the 2 oxen together, closely together, strongly together. Now imagine they're treading out like a mill. They're pushing a millstone together, side by side. Imagine if one is 3 years old and one is 15 years old. One's going to want to get ahead, one's slowing down, and that yoke will begin to rub. And over a matter of time, it will cause serious injury. So think about that when you're with a person and the incompatibility. That the rubbing causes harm and is detrimental over a period of time. And again, is going to be counterproductive or reduce the productivity of accomplishing a task. And we talked about divine mission. And God brings people together for divine mission. So think about that as we're talking about compatibility, about the yoke and the oxen example. So let's first talk a little bit about the second principle that Dr. Warren says is essential, is developing a clear mental image, detailed mental image of the spouse you're looking for. As far as attraction, period, most people have an image is in the subconscious or the unconscious. But it's there. Sometimes people can't explain why they're attracted to somebody, but that's because there is a picture there. So it's important to understand what your attraction is based on. And here are 3 theories of how people form attractions. One is a very common one, that they role model the opposite sex parents, like a woman marries a man like her dad, or a son marries a woman like his mother. That's very common philosophy. But also they said in research they're finding that both males and females, they're more impacted by the mother, and they're choosing somebody like their mother. So that's another theory. But second is you're trying to meet unmet childhood needs. Say you had an absent parent, father, he wasn't there, you didn't feel protected. You might look for that in a mate. Or if you're a man, maybe you didn't have a very nurturing mother, and you're looking for a woman that can fulfill those needs. And one of the questions is will they be able to nurture me, to help me recover my lost self? Sometimes that's a reason. And third, the theory that Dr. Warren favors is there's a combination of people that you encounter, and you base your mate selection on multiple people. Like, say you met a person named Doc. They're outgoing and outspoken and fun. You look at those characteristics. Or you might know Sam, who's sharp dressing and he's really good at making money. So it might be a combination of people you know. So either way, for whatever reason, people tend to get the attraction image, they keep the attraction image unconscious or subconscious. So, and the reasons are, some of the reasons may be is fear of rejection. You're afraid that the person that you really want may not want you. And some of them are shame for your primal needs, like again, wanting to feel nurtured or cared for, or a father figure. And then 3 is the lack of self-knowledge of your own needs, and you don't know what you want or what you need to meet your own needs. So let's look a little bit about your person of your dream, your image, versus the person that you're able to attract, or the person you attract. And a lot of us wrestle with the doubt that the person that we really want and are attracted to will be attracted to us. Many people struggle with that. So looking at the pool of prospective spouses, there's a lot out there. Now, depending on what you bring to the table, you might attract more than others. If you're from a healthy, well-adjusted family that was emotionally stable and met your emotional needs for love, you will probably have a lot of characteristics that attract a lot of different people. High self-esteem, you might be confident, maybe affectionate, have more social refinement, maybe higher education, as opposed to somebody that came from a very dysfunctional, challenged family where it was emotional instability and their needs weren't met for love and affection. They may come out of their childhood with some issues that make it difficult to attract some people, or some people are repelled by some of the things. There might be low self-esteem, fear of intimacy, unresolved anger, or other trauma-related behaviors that is related to it. Well, I'm here to tell you, things happen in people's lives and families. But don't be discouraged, because you can overcome these challenges, and even behavioral liabilities, or just things that are challenging for you there. But if you accept yourself where you're at and you make a commitment to change and heal, you can. And then also understand that usually attractiveness is a sum total of many things. Like maybe you don't have the refined social skills, but you'd be a great mother and you're very creative. So it's not like you're totally out of the ball game. There's somebody for everybody. Now I'm going to share with you 10 characteristics, he calls them dimensions, to consider to help you create and refine a mental image of the partner that you are seeking, the ideal partner that you're seeking. 1 is personality. Do you want somebody gregarious and talkative, or you want somebody more shy and reserved? You want somebody that is opinionated and open, or just very tactful and quiet? So there are many aspects of personality, many things to consider. So number 2 is intelligence. Research shows that healthy, well-adjusted marriages, usually the intelligence is just a few IQ points away. They're usually matched. And do you like someone that has more academic book intelligence, or do you like somebody more cosmopolitan that's traveled and been around the world and had a lot of life experience? Are you interested in someone's more analytical or intuitive? It's just different types of intelligence. And number 3 is appearance. What kind of body type? Color of skin, hair color, eye color, hygiene, body movement, style. Think about that. 4, ambition, which is usually an inner drive to achieve. It could be usually kind of monetary, but it also could be status. It could be professional accomplishments, a strong ambition. And if somebody does not have a strong ambition, if it matches yours, that's okay, because they might have more interest in investing in the family, in spiritual things, because the ambition tends to be a little bit more carnal, not 100%, but so just look at that 2 different ways, but it should match your level. Chemistry, is there any magnetic romance, any charge there when you see them? Physical attraction. So 6 is character. I define character as consistent actions, attitudes, and behaviors. Do they have integrity? Are they honest? Are they affectionate? Just what are the consistent attitudes, actions, and behaviors that they have? And creativity. Do they have the ability to be original, come up with original ideas, express and create? And that leads to like being ingenious or industrious, and that can apply to several different areas as well. Spirituality. This is more internal rather than external. Religion is more external, going to church, having a position in church, those kind of things. But spirituality is more internal, actually communing with God and living by faith and investing in and in believing in that which you cannot see, the spirit realm. 9, parenting. Do they want children? Are they able to nurture healthy, well-adjusted children and meet their needs? 10, authenticity. Can they be true to their real identity inside? Can they express it? Can they share it? Are they able to share their opinions and ideas? Do they have a challenge with people pleasing? Those kinds of issues you consider. So I encourage you to take these 10 characteristics, maybe add some of your own, rank order them in importance to you, and reflect on why you rank order them the way you do. And this will help you develop a strong, detailed mental image of the type of life partner that you want to marry, because this will want to be one of the key factors in attracting this kind of person, finding and marrying someone that looks like this image. You know what you're looking for. So the quote today will come from Karen M. Black. It is, "We will meet our soulmate when we are on our soul path." So family, if this video has added value to your life, please subscribe, like, and share. Until we meet again, go with love.